Yeah. Most of them came over here. I might not have enough of them, but I just want to give you some kind of tangible walk away. As I did last time, you just saw, scan the QR code, you have signed in for the presentation. To those who went to Monday's professional view, workshop, was that helpful to you? Raise your hand, actually, if you don't mind. What was something you learned from that? Okay, somebody took one there. What else? What did you learn from that? You have your hand on. That was amazing. Okay, who else went to that one on Monday? Yeah. Okay. Oh, can you maybe go more to that?
He talking about, he gave an example, like you were asked, where you see yourself in 5 years or something, that like project management, so why not go to that after you graduate? Oh.
Yeah, I like that. Do you find it valuable? I like that idea. So, we're gonna kind of dive into career fair prep. When is career fair happening again? I'm sorry, what? Yes, so next Wednesday, it's a 1 day fair, so keep in mind that we're not having 2 day like we do in the fall. So only 1 day to really take advantage of the opportunity to see those employers face to face. Again, networking is gonna be a huge part of your process, no matter what strategy you use to get your full-time job or internship. So really having some in-person interaction is gonna be key for that. To help you actually identify the employers and be more related to you and what you want to talk to at the fair, or who you want to talk to at the fair. Let's do some searching. So hop on your computers, bring these out. We're going to go into your handshake accounts. Like sc.joinhandshake.com. How many websites is that? Yeah.
But we were about this.
Oh, good. Okay.
Nick,
Okay.
just so I pulled this up for you. Those are all the companies by sorting,
Oh, you already did that. Okay.
but you can show them,
Okay,
okay?
yeah,
Like just,
Perfect. Okay.
that way you can show them.
Yeah, sure thing. So once you get to Handshake login, then you'll go to the Jobs tab on the left, the navigation bar. And then it should say, or Events tab. 1, 2. I know, sorry, my bad. Events tab, not Jobs tab, Events tab. And under events, you'll see all the events with the cursor. So there's gonna be probably overwhelming list of like all the events. Look for the one that says STEM fair. Should be toward the top of this next. I'll also say anything that's gonna be pertinent for you as and CEC student will start with the moniker MCEC. I'll say MCEC tabling, MCEC workshop, MCEC presentation. So those are going to be a good moniker for you to identify and to relate for what you are wanting to get involved with. So you have now your the event pulled up. On the left, you'll see employers, or top, you'll see employers listed, right? Yeah. So now those are all the employers that are there, right? Probably 100 of them. A little bit of the one like 4 by each one. You actually filter out the ones you don't want to see. So if you go to filters. You go to all the points and filters, you actually filter out the ones that are hired specifically for your major. Now say play around with filters. You gotta be major, which will be towards the bottom of that filter list. Or you do industry. Is that what you did?
I did the major,
Majors, okay.
so I picked it, IIT one, but I also picked computer science or anything else like that, so. Anything that's in the computing arena, I did, so what it does.
If you might be using industry, the industry language on a national scale can be a bit different jargon, so you might have to use IT versus IIT.
And I'm just gonna show you, this is what it looked like when I pulled it up. So it started alphabetically. And so some of them, like this polyester place, it says that they're looking for IT people. But sometimes these people just check everything. And they're really not looking for IT people. They're too lazy to check off each one. So right now I know Blue Cross Blue Shield and Continental's looking and so forth, but some of these engineering groups, they may not be looking.
We need that.
Yeah, Dominion I have it, Epic will too.
That's-
So it does sort them out for you, but if they're lazy and they just check all of them,
And I was looking I was asking, hey, I pulled this list and some of these don't really look, like, ask me, I'm happy to tell you which ones are and aren't, because I will know for sure. Yeah. So now you know how to pick out your target list, and now you have your target list of who is essentially interested in you as a major. Now from there, pick out the ones you actually want to go talk to. All right,
5 or more.
or 5 or more. So I'm just saying what 5, at least 5. All right, cool. Any questions about that? Okay. The same thing applies to any kind of event you go to. So when you go to the event, it's like what we love before you there. Always look at who's going to be there for you. Think of the job postings. What job postings are there? You do one, two filter searches. They'll help you to create content for just you. So talk about what to bring to the fair. What should you bring to the fair? What's the most important thing you should bring to the fair? Thank you. It pains me when I see a student come professionally dressed, they're ready, they have that confidence, they know what to say, and they don't have the resume. I like want to cry inside. Because you just
Or
like,
you only bring 5 and you think, "Ah, there's really 10 companies I ran out of it."
please do not come to a career fair without a resume. And especially if I know you're IIT student, I know you've heard the speech, so I'm gonna be more disappointed. Please come with resumes and more copies of things you might need. The others, things like your dress, attire, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Have a notepad, have a pen, you need to take notes in your conversation. Don't do your notes during the conversation. At the end, don't step aside, then write this brief note. So you have to remember what you talked about and next steps.
And keep eye contact while they're talking. Don't take notes during the time frame.
Number 2, I say of those important thing other than resumes is the questions. You could be asking them questions and not just see what do you do, because guess what? The what do they do is that will buy you pull from the company. So you need to come with educated research questions of what's asking. Don't need like a broad questions, but ask them 2, 3 interesting questions that really help to understand the deeper level of the work that they do. It may be, well, I know what the company does, but here's no what's your specific role in the company, what do you do on a day-to-day basis? Those kind of questions. If you're not asking questions, don't take that as you're not interested, and even though you may have great elevator pitch and professional attire, if you have no questions, you're immediately putting in the bottom. So ask those engaging questions. Don't have to have a portfolio. It's nice to have that. We have a folder, like a platform, use that as well. Just put everything in. As you mentioned, you have to have swag. It gets a little cumbersome, so just have something to organize all that content. Talk about making an impression. Again, the event from what time to when? Well, 4. So should you come at 4:30? No. Should you come at 3:30? Probably not. Come as early as you can to make sure you're on time wisely. I can't speak for all faculty, but I would say that you can at least bring up to your professor or faculty that, hey, there's curriculum going on, ask for excuse absence ahead of time. They'll be flexible. Okay? You can't just assume that. Sounds good rapport with the recruiters that are there. Also keep in mind that the person you're talking to may not know what you're talking about. I mean, this is the sense of they may be the recruiter or the actual employee in that role. So the employee is going to be the person from your degree. They're doing the work you want to do, so they're in that like world every day, day in and out. If they're a recruiter, they may be working for the HR. So they're not in that role. They have no idea what the jargon is, the language is. You have to be aware of what is the representation. Because then you need to change your language a little bit to cater to that individual. Talk about questions and then just behave professionally. Very mindful of that as well. Any questions about this piece? It will not, because we don't even know that even day of. So let's say we have like 2 representatives coming, but we don't know who these people are, because it changed so last minute. But on that note, you should get some kind of piece of information, contact information, or business card, or how to follow up with them. That's really, really important. Similar to, if you're not asking any questions, well, you can put it in a pile. If you don't follow up with them, they'll be put in a pile. So just make sure you're following up the ones you're truly genuinely interested in. To show that you, hey, you are wanting to further your interest in that organization, and what's the next step for you to do that? I'm going to say, go around shopping around for freebies, you need them for your assignment. So in that case, just do that tastefully. Don't grab the whole table full of, just do these and how walk away with. I can do that because I'm not job fishing, so it's fun for me. Let's see. You mentioned about taking notes a little bit. Non-verbals versus verbal. What do you think is most important in that situation? Verbal or non-verbal communication? What? Non-verbal. If you have a great speech, but you're non-verbal, like very off-putting and like, it's about. So you have to have really good non-verbal communication. So how your stance is, what your body language is saying, what your interactions are, your gesturing, things of that nature. That very much have just as much to do with what you're verbally saying to that recruiter or employer. So be very mindful of that. You practice that, practice in the mirror. You have big interview assignment. That's also a great way to see where your nonverbals are doing. Oh, and network with other students. It's a great time to see other peers that you may not see on a regular basis. But keep in mind, if you're going to the fair, say with a friend, have a good, like, walk to the fair, you're walking up, you're walking the main entrance, get a divorce with a friend. Go your separate ways, meet up after the fair. I will say this for one reason, and actually this from employers, to be concerned. If you and your friend are going up to the same employer and talking to them, say you're on your game, you're on it, you're really impressed with you, but say they're not really impressed with your friend. How awkward is it that we're giving you the attention and not your friend, or vice versa, right? You just want to avoid this kind of awkward situation, so like go to a friend, have that emotional support or support throughout the experience, but maybe meet up halfway through or after the table, but don't go too up to the table at the same time. Okay. I don't know if you've heard that before.
Yeah.
Any questions about that? Then you take it. Read it. Let's see, follow up. So talk about this, the follow-up piece. You should follow up within 24 hours with, from that event. It would work for you. You have that flexibility. If you wait any longer, you have missed the boat. The boat is far off. And I say it because this is not the only school that's stopping that. They are going on a series of like events of other schools throughout the season, throughout the semester. So this is like one of maybe 10 schools we're going to, and they've like lost the communication of where USC is at. So you want to keep you fresh in your mind. Also, just be respectful to what they are doing themselves. So they may not get back to you because they are on a really balanced schedule that they have 10 more other schools after us, or maybe because that employer is going back to the work and go back to the field, and they just can't respond to it. So be aware, just be flexible about that they may not be able to, but do your part in reaching out and following up. And your thinking note should be brief, not an essay. What do you think your thinking note should include? One more time louder.
Something that reminds them of you specifically.
Yes,
That hook.
exactly. If you're sending a generic thank you card or thank you letter, and you're not putting any like relevance to the conversation you had, they're not gonna remember who you are unless you are attaching like a headshot, and you should not be doing that. So have something that helps them remind them who you are. Maybe it's a general, like, very intro, cognitive kind of conversation you had at the beginning, talking about, oh, we both identify golf as a common for a hobby you engage in. Whatever it may be, drop that back into the thank you note to help you remind who you are. That's very key for that thank you follow-up. Any questions about that? It should not be long, like I said, it should be maybe 3-4 sentences at the most. And yeah, do that within 24 48 hours of the event.
You brought up the headshot. They will have people there taking headshots. If you need a professional headshot. It's usually on the second corner once you walk in, which is overlooking the creek. So it's a big circle, but they've done on that side.
Yes, and I will say for every fair, so we have 2 more fairs coming up, state agency and all majors. We also have headshots there, so that should professionally go with our marketing person. If you want to have a really nice headshot, this is how to do it. Let's talk about a little bit about email etiquette, because we're talking about emailing for recruiters and employers. Please have professional communication. Which one of these three is more professional? Yes, why for? Yes, everything else is not professional, and unfortunately, these are real life examples. These are actually from your peers. So, shows you that if your peers are doing this, you're doing it. So please avoid 1 through 3 at all costs. And you can guess to faculty, but still faculty, you can communicate professionally to that staff, faculty, recruiters, employees, everyone. This is time to really have good professional stance and think about your brand as well. And no, you will not find out who 1 through 3 were. All right, so we're gonna switch a little bit into your elevator pitch. So I have this a little bit as a activity again. I'm not sure if I've got copies, probably not, but this also accessible in online. So what is your elevator pitch? If you what?
30 seconds, find out who you are.
Exactly. Elevator pitch. The idea comes from when you're in an elevator with a professional who you don't know, they don't know you. You have that 30 seconds between floors to really put your attention to who you are and give your own. So the idea is you're mentioning specific things about who you are. I always say the only reason from here on out, the rest of your life, of why you have the interview or any interaction with the next step is because of what you're currently working on now, your degree, right? So start with your degree. What are you working on? Any professional involvement. I know that you have AIS, right, sitting up here. That would be cool to talk about if you're leadership in that role or leader in that organization. What's kind of helped you to build your professional forwardness in your path? What do you hope to gain? What do you hope to achieve? What the fact you brought up the project management position. Why wait 5 years? Why not get to it now? What's your goal? The Mad Libs essentially allows you to fill it in more of like a fun activity. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I love Mad Libs. In fact, it's more something that you do now, even as an adult, being an older adult. But makes it a career thing more fun. Okay. So I want to give you all, everyone did issue or not? No? Did I? I underestimated, sorry about that. I will send you electronic version, you can do that at home, so whether it's spending time on that now, let's keep going. Some other things to think about when it comes to your elevator pitch, questions to just kind of spark your thoughts. Did you all do elevator pitch in that workshop on Monday? Okay, how was that? Okay. Let's go to the tire. What do you think you should not wear to a career fair? What flip-flops, what else? Gym shoes, what else? What? Hoodie, yep, what else? Hat, what else? Oh, what else? Yeah. I've seen it before, it happens. Yeah. Yeah. Leisure clothes, gym clothes, yeah. You know, you have that 30 seconds, 30 minutes go between gym and like, oh, I don't want to know my chain on. Skip the gym that day. It's worth it, trust me.
And make sure you shower regardless.
So while everyone is okay in terms of attire for class right now, this is not career fair attire, right? All right. So there are different levels of attire when it comes to professional dress. I know it was mentioned or briefly last time when I was here. What's the highest level of professional dress you have? Oh, what up before that? Yeah, this is formal, right? This is formal. What I like to test if it's like the board professional dress, like not colorful and not very neutral. May have more of the swag attached to your dress, but it's more to be very industry specific, I would say. I don't know if you agree with that, like more in corporate America, finance kind of world. Like my JD fellows, those kind of things. Then you have professional, what was it over here? This is professional, right? The more weird sport coats kind of thing. So I would also say dress to where you are wearing this, what is comfortable to you. I know, and that's one thing I struggle with this one, I'll go with this. I know that on a scale, if you're binary, so gender specific, I will also say if you're non-binary, there are other options as well. So it gets more of a visual, kind of avoiding that a little bit. I'll also say that if you don't have access to the attire, what is one resource you know about on campus you have access to that? Yes, that's located where? Yep, at the Coliseum where you go to the event, right? It's actually on the first floor. Slash basement floor, whichever you're looking at the building. It's in the community shop, so. Carolina Closet allows you to have access to professional dress. You are going there to shop. You're taking it home with you, it's yours. You're not turning it back, you're not. It's your attire. So pick what you want to wear or what you are like. I've seen so many great pieces come out of there. I'm like jealous myself, like that was really good. So go out there, see the resources that are accessible to you as students. Please don't come in any of the clothing items you mentioned before. Again, I know you, on your faces, if I see that, oh. That's the best way to say it. Because honestly, it comes to the perception. While a lot of things are very poor dressing, professional attire is one thing that hasn't really crossed that border yet. And so when you're interacting with employers in a career fair setting, you're gonna expect that. If you're not meeting that standard, they may say no. And I don't want that to be a barrier for you, when there should not be there. There are other barriers in life you have to deal with, it should not be one. Let's see. Oh, wrong direction. So address, let's see, oh, please avoid, strong fragrances. I'm finding out a lot more people are heavy sensitive to that post-COVID, it's really interesting. But at the same time, please be hygienic, so, you know, do what you be hygienic, clean, have deodorant, whatnot. I know it's not weird to bring that up, but believe it or not, you have to. Yeah, it does. And I also understand that culturally and globally, it's not a thing, so if that's something you have questions about, again, come see me personally if you want to have a conversation. Yeah. From there, oh, have mitts, we'll have mitts at the fair as well, if you want that. Have a bottle of water, right now. I will also say that, the most important thing is be work something that is going to be helping you exude confidence. Is that nonverbal communication is going to be really important in that interaction with the employer. I'm doing good on time today. Minutes like. Yeah, like you said. Not mitts. I mean, you can bring mitts if you want. I mean, it's not gonna be that cold, it'll be part one. They get to move in that building once everyone's in there, so, yeah. Yeah, any questions so far? I think we're pretty much at the end of it. What's going on today?
It's a big day. You guys gotta dress up and be there, we'll be there. So. you can
Yes, I
stop
will be.
posting them Anytime, so.
So yes, I'll be the whole time. I don't know where I'm gonna be at, but I'll be there throughout. So a couple 4 pieces after just there, just other professional development ideas. I know I mentioned, professional you got that. So here are the April dates. So if you're interested in professional you post the current set of series you have, the last one for tonight. You can do that in March or end of March in April. If you're interested in the signing etiquette dinner, scan that QR code. I'll be there.
If you're there,
Yeah, I'll be there.
bonus one.
Yes, and what do you think the attire should be at etiquette dinner? It's casual? Could get away with that.
Normal.
That's probably too formal. Business professional, there you go. So it's sport coat, great, you know, slacks, dress shoes, appropriate shirt. I will also say, I don't know what the attended goal is for the employers, but in the past, we have had employers sit at tables with our staff. So it's a great opportunity to get one-on-one in a non-threatening environment and setting. So they're not having expectations of you should be acting like this or behaving like this. They're gonna know and understand you're learning about this. And it's great opportunity to network for your company. So I don't know, so I can only say who I've sat with that table before. I sat with Axon once before, and I sat with who's the one?
And black.
I don't remember who said, but like, there are other people come, so they'll bring recruiters from other areas, but again, I'm not promising it, I don't know what that has been, like, work beyond with that, but. Historically, we have. Oh, yeah, of course, we're gonna make it relevant, like, we're not gonna make you sit with Exxon, who have no interest in engineering at that point.
So you can sit with classmates, or you can sit with other people, doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
or you can sit with the vendors, because the vendors are there greeting you during the mingle out portion. And so when you first come in, you don't just go to your table, you mingle, and you say, hey, I really want to talk to you more, and sit with the vendor.
And each table will have a career coach, so I will be sitting at a table as well as my colleagues, so you'll have us and also help. We're going to pretty much basically facilitate the whole conversation. I love it because I love to have a general conversation, but don't be nervous about that because we are good at what we do, yeah. Very excited. Great question. Typically they are. They might not be the exact same set, but they are usually some representation of the organization there. So that has been the caveat of us getting towards it because the exact same is there. Again, I just don't know who that's gonna be.
If you could, do anything. You did, AWS will be there.
Hey, who?
AWS, he comes to the,
Okay.
Amazon.
Well, I know that they're having their own events, right?
That's 10 a.m. then.
Okay, yeah. So they are having a good event. You want here? Amazon Web Services, right?
USC.
So
Amazon Web Services. is
usually
AWS.
the dinner, it's a nice dinner because they're teaching you how to use all of your software.
And there's a lot.
So, and they give you the salads, they give you, meat, potatoes, which is usually, chicken or vegetable, and so forth. And then they also give you dessert, drink.
And how to eat all that stuff, what some more big soup, how to eat soup. I mean, you'd be surprised. And there's two different ways to go about an editing dinner. You know, two different styles and formats to follow. Bonus question, I'll give you a really good prize if you know this one answer. Yeah. Yeah, two different styles.
Dude,
There's two.
How do you eat? When you hold your board, that's what I'm saying. There's a certain way to hold it.
Don't cheat on computers. There's American,
And French.
nope. What? Nope,
Um, German.
nope,
This is a nationality.
no. I know, right? I'm good. All right, so last thing is, mention job shadows. These are actually the 7 that are specifically for MCC. Now, I do not know which one is specifically for IIT, if they're not looking for that. I just was excited to see 7 of them, so I know it mentioned Dominion. I'm not sure if anyone else, I'm not sure if WS is. But just look at those and see what job shadows are. Sites being offered. Does anyone know what job shadow is? What's job shadow?
A job shadow is where you are basically walking behind somebody else's footsteps, what they're doing at this specific time.
Right, you are, it's a site experience, you're going to the site itself and actually having like a day worth of either going on a tour, what they do, the site, itself. You're going through maybe some, workshops or just some info sessions to obtain more information about the work the organization does. But you are there on site. How valuable is that? In-person networking, that's huge. You can almost look at it as like a foot in the door. And even though the organization may not be offering one like this in the program, you can ask that as a consumer. Hey, do you know if there are any site visits? Ask them. I guarantee they'll say yes. All right, I think that's it. I think we've really got on time. I think anything else. Oh, last thing's Richter. So Richter scholarship. They mentioned up here about fees or going to conferences, things like that. Richter is actually helpful in that finance component too. So don't forget to use that as a resource. I know you mentioned earlier, so thank you for that. And we're actually, I'm about to keep on time, but this I didn't get to hang out. So that's pretty good. You have a question? No, okay. Any other question?
Any other questions?
Assuming how, not developed.
Yeah.
They'll help you to like apply and apply the rest of the time.
Yes.
How likely is that?
Great question. So a lot of times every employer will have next steps very different from the next. So you may need 5 employers and all 5 of them have very different steps for you to follow up at the next step. Some might say follow up by emailing or applying online. Some might say email me. Some might say go back to Handshake, apply through there. Some might say go back to the organization's website, apply through there. So you have to just please follow the instructions they say. The likelihood, if they want you to actually follow next step, if they're directing you to follow next steps, That's a huge indicator that they are very interested. So please do that. You ask those next steps, you don't follow them, that's a red flag. All right, so make sure you follow them to the T.
Let me ask you, who's been to a job fair? Okay, so half of it. So what happens is there's probably 100 vendors there.
Yeah, we backed up.
So, you got 100 vendors, we're gonna try to have you guys filter out which ones are the IT. I want you to visit between 5 and 10 of them. Talk to them and actually try to get a job. The thing is, you're competing against everyone on campus. So all of the computer science, computer engineering, they're all gonna be in there sweating bullets, where you already have met some of these people through their class. So it should be a little easier that you're just reaffirming that you're interested in the company or you want to move forward. And that, now's your time to impress them by addressing us. So that's what, that's why a lot of them like this class. They come in and tell their story. When you're in there and you got 1,000 students, they're collecting resumes and you're waiting in long line, there might be 10, 20 people on a line. And it happens, and it's like, okay, I'm clicking away. So, just be aware of that. I know sometimes you guys get a little nervous, so, your hands are getting clammy, but, sort of make sure you don't shake hands with a clammy.
I'll also say this class is an opportunity to see that person more than once. I have heard a pretty good, steady, consistent anecdotal kind of follow-up. Is that if your interaction with that person is more than once or twice, that is a huge benefit for you, because then they have a better chance to remember who you are. So please kind of remind them, hey, we met at Intern's class, or we met some other way, or maybe you follow up with them and you meet them again in the future. Please seek that out. Cross-reference their involvement with us. More likely, if they're here once, they're here another time. And see what the other time is. Also cross-reference through the tenure to LinkedIn. Say you're interested in Dominion. Go on LinkedIn, pull up alumni from Dominion, who is alumni linked on LinkedIn. That's huge, I think, on that. Yeah. And if you want a digital business card, let me know. I'll figure it out for that. If you have a question. No, okay. Do you have questions? Oh, no. Okay, that's it.